Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us once again for the Discipline Therapy Podcast with your two hosts, Mr. E.L. Discipline, and with him always, Suhey Sotomayor. First and foremost, we want to give a big shout out to Joe at Center Stage Music Studios for always having the room prepared for us. It was super hot today. It felt like it was 107, and we walked in to the nicest, coolest, comfiest room.
Yeah, he's been good to us for like so many years.
Oh, such a good guy. We also have a link in the description to become a part of our Patreon family and subscribe for exclusive content, bloopers, behind the scenes, EL Discipline solo lectures of Discipline Therapy Talk, his BDS content, erotica posts and writings by Mr. EL Discipline, any collaboration shows pertaining to sensitive topics such as abortions, transgenders, or more, with myself and Mr. EL Discipline. Once again, our Patreon is patreon.com/the Discipline Therapy Podcast. Also, we have EL Discipline books available online, Amazon.com, Barnes and Nobles. We have it for Kindle and electronic versions as well. The link is also in the description for the video. And our online store for merch is disciplinetherapy.launchcart.store/shop. We have some new gear out that just hit. You want to go check it out and check out the different categories. We have a coupon code at checkout for summer is 15% off worldwide, and that is Summer Therapy 2023. We're also on all major listening platforms such as Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, Castbox, and so much more. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. For business inquiries, you can send an email to info@eldiscipline.com, ssotomayor0307@gmail.com. And if you want to be part of the show or give us show ideas, you can send them to www.thedisciplinetherapypodcast.com or www.eldiscipline.com. Now, Mr. EL Discipline, you're going to do your thing?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back. We know y'all are fiends and y'all know what that means for these stimulating conversations. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we have a plethora of content exclusively on Patreon for you to see. What is free is judgment-free, sucker-free, censor-free, sensitive-free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, or my favorite, roll a blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and sometimes vulgar conversation. Prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up. Inhale life and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're here. And you know what I forgot? I forgot to do this. So I'm going to clear the energy now before I say the name of the title. I'm just going to pass it down. No, I'm just kidding.
I hear a sigh like you getting tired of your responsibilities.
No, I looked at it and I brought it and I was like, I forgot that one. Anyway. So, welcome to season 11, episode 117 with our special in-studio guest. I know you guys are wondering, what? They got two now? Two at once? We usually just have one person in the hot seat. We got two now. And it's the craziest thing. So, our in-studio guest, David and the beautiful Jem. And our topic for today is, why are most people notorious for being fashionably late? And the kicker is, they were so on time. They were early. Early, so I love it. Mm-hmm. Thank you guys for coming and for coming on time. Because like I said, we've had people come hours late. So
thank you for having us.
Right.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell you want to say a little bit about yourselves?
We've been dating for 5 years. Just recently married.
Congratulations! April. Really recently. Congratulations! Yes. That's so nice.
Thank you.
How's it been?
Not different from dating, to be honest. It's been pretty much the same.
Yeah?
Yeah, haven't skipped a beat.
Did you guys live together before getting married?
Yes.
Did you see that new study that says when people live together before marriage, they're most likely to get a divorce?
Haven't seen that.
I have.
What are your thoughts on that?
I have. It depends on the type of person. I think that once you guys are living together, you know what you're in for.
Yeah, I
So
think
it's kind of
so
like
too.
the pre-marriage
Mm.
stage.
Yeah. I was thinking about my daughter who's 22 and she has a boyfriend, and was saying how, they were talking about, oh, when we get married. And I was like, I wonder if they're going to live together first. And then that thing pops up. I was like, oh my God, if they do, they're going to get a divorce.
It's
But
to
they're
be
not.
yeah, but to be honest with you, it's like the new
Yeah.
thing going.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely.
I mean, it's like a trial run. It gives you kind of an idea of what you're in for. In the
So that
long
was my
run.
next question. Did you like living together first?
Oh.
Like, till you got to know, like,
Yes.
her quirks and
Absolutely.
his quirks and all that?
We
Okay.
definitely
Yes.
learned each other very
It
well.
helped? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yes,
It helped a lot.
At
did.
3
It
o'clock,
did.
she's crazy. I'm like, mental note, 3 a.m., the crazy comes out. I'm just
I
kidding.
mean,
Yes.
you learn a lot of things, habits, food, a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I know, David, that you're in the military.
Yes. Yes.
So how's that been? Because this is kind of like up the alley with the main context is discipline.
It's challenging at times, being a family with a member who's in the military. You have times where you're away from your family for months,
Mm.
Wow.
and the only thing that you have is a phone call, text message, FaceTime, and it's kind of tough,
Mhm.
but you know why you're doing it, and you signed a contract, your obligation, and you're doing it for your family, because there are benefits to doing it,
Mhm.
both monetary
And
and
long term.
yeah, and long term. So it's not like it's not rewarding. It is. It is rewarding. It's just it may not be for everyone.
Mhm.
How long have you been in the military?
9 years.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, I'm already at that hump where I'm like, you know what, just do the 20 and retire.
Mhm.
Wow.
Most people, they'll do it a couple of years, 6 years or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you're
And
out.
then stop.
And then you don't have nothing to show for it but the fact that, hey, yeah, I was in the military for like 5 years, 6 years. But if you put your 20, you have a lot to look forward to. Retirement's pretty good
Yeah.
in the military.
Yeah.
You mind me
definitely.
asking your age?
I'm 41.
Okay.
Damn, you look young. 41?
I thank my dad for that. Good genes.
Yeah, because you both, now I'm looking at you like, bitch, if he's 41, how old are you? Because you guys look good as hell.
I'm 35.
Ah, okay. See, so she is young.
I'm still a baby.
Mm.
All right. That's so
Mhm.
nice.
So you got 11 more years left?
Yeah,
Mm.
pretty much. Yeah.
And now, so I know with the military, you guys have to, especially in the beginning, you have to get up early before the sun, do your whole workout and all that stuff. Do you still carry that?
Yeah. A
You
lot
still
of
do it?
disciplines you do still carry.
Even at home? Yeah. Do you make her get up?
No.
No.
Do you blow the horn?
She's already
No.
she's
No?
already up
No.
early.
Oh, she's
an
already.
early bird. But yeah, a lot of things that you carry on from like basic training and things like that, you do. They're instilled in you. You can't.
Mm. That's
Right.
awesome.
Like she gets upset at me sometimes because being in the military so long, I've learned to only have 4 hours of sleep.
Mm.
I can function on that
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
because that's what
That's how they
they
teach
have
you?
to.
They train you like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Wow.
Why does she get mad? Your
'Cause
health?
I'm up late sometimes, and yeah, I guess health wise, she's like, you gotta
I
sleep.
want to hear what she said.
It
Why
irks.
you get mad?
No, it irks me because when you think about it, you need what, 8 hours to function.
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need 8 hours and 3 cups of coffee to function. He could stay up for 24 hours, and I'm like, dude, go to bed.
Research shows, sorry to cut you off, 6. Like adults could do 6.
Yes.
Babies 8 and more.
Mhm.
But adults, like, we
6 to
build
8.
some type of
Babies more, like 10 and up.
Yes.
Adults 6 to 8, and then
Yeah.
older adults
Yes.
probably 4.
mm,
Yeah, because I've seen a lot. I work in the hospital, so I see a lot of older people like up at like 4 in the morning. Like, all right, it's time to get ready. No,
Yeah,
stay
exactly.
in bed.
I say for myself 8 because I'm a mom of 4.
Oh wow, God bless.
So I've had them back to back to back that I'm finally starting to catch up on my sleep as I get older.
Wow. How and what are their ages?
16, 15, 14, and 13.
Wow,
Mhm.
that is back to back. You look freaking fabulous.
3 girls and a boy.
The boy's the youngest.
Yes.
He's the little king.
Yes.
Little
He's my
prince?
baby. Mhm.
Do you see that you treat them different just because he's a boy or because he's younger?
That's a good question.
Right? Off the
I'm
top, off the
I'm
gate.
gonna get yelled at for this, but I spoil him. But,
But
there's
is
a
it
reason
because
why.
he's a boy or because he's the youngest though?
It's neither.
Oh, So why do you spoil him?
Because when I was pregnant with my son, they said that we had a year. He was only going to make it to a year.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
So when I found out we were having a boy, I spoiled him before he was here. And then after that, he was born. We were in and out of the hospitals, things like that. And they told us that we had to prepare to say goodbye. And I was like, no. And now
What did they say he had?
he had some issues with his kidneys.
Oh, okay. Was he a preemie?
So, no, he wasn't.
He was full term and had issues with the kidneys? Wow.
Yes. So I told him, like, he's my world. He's my everything. And now he's 13 with a mustache and
Wow.
attitude. And, you know, just like, Mom, I need you to do this for me. And I need you to do that for me.
And do you?
I do. I give
She's
it.
like, yes, I do.
Yes.
All right.
Mhm.
So you guys obviously heard the topic. Why do you think people are notorious for being fashionably late? Clearly not you guys. And let me ask you this, because you guys were early. Who is it that made you guys come early? Because you know, in some dynamics, there's always like one that's late and one's early.
See, she's the one out of us that is the most inquisitive. So she's always gonna ask you the great questions. Like me, I'm a sharp shooter,
Yeah.
straight shooter. Like, but she gonna go into depth. How many kids you got? How long you been?
No,
in
that's
it?
fine with me.
That's
Like,
him
she-
nicely saying that I'm nosy. I like to say I like to be prepared and inquisitive. Okay?
But let me ask you something. Are you Puerto Rican?
No, I'm South American. My mom's Argentinian. My dad's Bolivian.
But it's the Hispanic in us
Yes.
that we have to be nosy. So it's okay.
Yeah, I know that.
He's like, I know.
I understand. Actually, I'm usually late, but today
Look
I
at him.
was
He's like,
I was nervous and I was like, I need to be on time. Then I looked at the time when we were up the road. I'm like, oh, I could get Starbucks. And I was like, no, I can't. I was like, I need to be early. So I am here early today.
I love it because I've never met another Latina that is not even on time, but early. Okay? And it's perfect for this one.
I
Yes.
appreciate it too.
Oh, that's the best.
Appreciate it.
I'm very with time. All right. So now, why do you?
That's what makes us work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like we were having this conversation off camera, so and I was like, well, if you did this with someone else who wasn't as like goal oriented,
Or prepared.
you know, would you do it still?
Mm-hmm.
If he was inconsistent, would you do it still? You know, so like with us, we've been consistent for so long because we have that congruent, aspect of us, especially with time.
Yeah.
You know, like I've done business with people. Oh, they said they're gonna be here. I'm 5 minutes early. Now I'm waiting 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Exactly.
you
Yeah,
know,
that's a pet
so
peeve.
yeah, it messes everything up. Because I look at time as money. Every minute I'm late, I'm losing money.
That's true. So I know she admitted that she's normally the one that runs late. So I'm gonna go with. Are you the one that, because of your military background?
To be honest, it depends on the situation. I've been known to be a little late myself sometimes.
Shameful, shameful.
What would make you? Where have you been late? What circumstances or
Not the
places
wedding,
or-
right?
No,
No.
no, that definitely not.
My sister, when she got married, her husband was 45 minutes late.
Mm.
That was what's the word? Preview? No. Come on.
The prerequisite to their divorce?
No,
Or something?
they're not even divorced yet, but it's it was like a future thing.
Oh, okay. Foreshadow.
Foreshadow.
Mm.
I guess it just depends on what it is. I guess certain things, like, I'm not interested, but I know I have to go,
Oh, so you take your
so I
time.
procrastinate.
I so
that's-
object to that.
She
But
said
I-
object.
But other things, I'm
No.
like work. I'm on time unless I don't really feel like
No,
going
he's.
down.
Are you shaking your head no for him or for yourself?
For him.
Oh, okay. So let's get to the lowdown. What is he lying about?
No. I get up extra early in the morning to make sure that he has his coffee, his lunch, and everything. I let him sleep in a little bit, 5 minutes. Then I turn around, get myself ready, and I'm like, baby, you gotta get up. Oh my God, I'm gonna be late. Oh, okay, that's fine. I have to literally fly down the highway to get him there before 7 o'clock.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean that is true. That is
And
true.
And you said to drive him to his job. Off camera, you were saying that you work for an armory.
Yeah, I'm in National Guard. I have a full-time job at the Armory in Farmingdale.
What is an
And
armory?
so it's a military installation. It's not exactly like a base, but it's a military installation. They have units that are there. You have people that work full-time jobs there in the National Guard. I work at the shop, so I basically am fixing like all of the military vehicles for different units and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's basically my job in the military. I'm a mechanic in the military.
Oh, okay. So, but then do they hold you to the same standard, your job at the armory, that the army holds you to as far as
Absolutely.
time?
I still have to go in uniform. I still have to be
Oh.
shaved. Everything. Yes.
So you race down the street to get him there on time so he doesn't get in trouble?
Yes, ma'am.
You have such a good wife.
I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. She is 100% my strength.
Oh, that's so nice.
I'll be perfectly honest with that. It's great because like I appreciate a lot of the little things that she does, like the coffee in the morning, you know, my lunch and things like that. And those are things that I don't like take for granted.
Oh, that's good. How does that make you feel when like hearing him say that stuff?
To be honest with you, it's kind of like, are you sure about that? I come from a previous relationship where I was married for 11 years.
Oh, wow.
And it was a horrible.
Oh, so you have
Domestic violence.
sorry.
I have a lot of trauma.
I was about to say that. You have a good guy, but because of those traumas, you're like scared of it. Like you don't
Yes.
believe it.
Yes. So it depends on every situation. Like I'm spontaneous and he's like, he has to think about everything. And I'm like, I don't care if I'm late. I'm like, I need to look good. I need to do this. But that's because I was trained at an early age to do everything. So I had my first kid at 18 and then I was married at 19. So I was trained to do everything. And this is why sometimes I'm late for things because, you know, I have to make sure, okay, my husband needs his clothes laid out and then you have to get the kids ready and then you have to work on yourself and then, you know, you have to get everybody in the car. So this is why it's like, okay, I'm used to being late.
Right.
So
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we're gonna jump right in. Well, the first question is why do you think people are late to things?
it depends on the situation.
No, it really
It really does, because think about it. If you are Hispanic and you've grown up in a household where your mom was always late, like myself,
So you're gonna inherit that?
Yes, I think so, because my parents used to go to Jersey every other weekend for balls. Used to get up, get dressed in these fancy gowns and everything. And I'm like, Mom, you have to be on the road by like 10 and it's 11:30.
Oh my God.
And she was always late. So growing up, I was like, oh, okay, fashionably late. You know, you have to make sure that you look good, you smell good and all that. So I think it depends on the situation. Now, if you're single and you're going on your first date, yes, be a little late.
Be a little late?
Yes,
Oh.
because you want them to be like, oh, wow, I said at this time, but the minute that you walk through that door, you want them to be like, oh, wow.
In
she
my
does look
opinion,
good.
that's terrible advice. My
That
gosh,
is-
don't listen to
No,
that.
no.
Don't listen to that, gentlemen. Don't listen to that, ladies. The first impression is the lasting impression.
That's hysterical.
But that's how I feel, because think
Yeah.
about it, when you're going out, you're getting dressed up and everything, you feel good, so you could spare a couple of minutes being late
It's
sometimes.
a first date, though.
so you're not-
that man don't know you.
But she's not talking about like an hour late.
No,
Yeah, but it's
it
the
could be
first date,
five,
though.
10 minutes late.
What if I got hired to the job? I got the job, and the CEO's like, you know what? Everything is great. I like the way you presented yourself. You wore the suit. Boom. And he's like, be here by 9 a.m. tomorrow. I'll show up at 9:30.
No, but
No,
9:10.
but that's the different situation.
9,
Work,
10.
But no, work is work. You have to understand, I'm early to work. I leave late from work because I stay overtime. Work is work. I make sure that I'm early. If my boss says you have to do an event, I'm there early.
Okay.
That I don't, when it comes to money, I don't mess around.
So
But
pick
if I'm
and choose.
exactly, but if I'm going out to have a good time, I'm going to be a little late
Even-
because I said it's the truth, because we work a lot, you know.
to prepare, to get ready to go out yourself.
Okay.
Exactly.
I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
I definitely agree with the household situation, like her seeing her mom.
Mhm.
My house is very divided. Well, especially growing up, my father and I get this from my father. We're an hour early. to things, an hour early to things. And he's good with it. I had to take him to a doctor's appointment yesterday. I looked at the thing at the time. I was like, all right, we're going to get coffee. We're going to get something to eat. We're going to go. We're going to get there 15 minutes early. We were there an hour early. And he didn't bitch. He didn't complain. He was like, this is great. We can sit in the car. Yeah. My sister, my mother, notoriously late for everything. For everything. So that I do agree. As far as, I just think that I'm the type of person I am, I can't be late to anything. I can't even be on time to anything, because if I'm running on time, to me, I'm running late. If I'm supposed to start my job at, let's say, 11 p.m. and I walk into the door at 10:55, I'm late. I'm scrambling. I'm like, I gotta get ready. It's overwhelming for me. But I think that's just like the type of personality that I have.
So why do you think people would be late?
Oh,
You.
me?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's maybe poor. It depends. Like how she says, there could be people who are poor planners. They don't plan their time, correctly. That's my sister. She doesn't have anything on time. They start late. They get up late. They're not disciplined enough, maybe. Or, you start off, on time and then you run into traffic or something. Or there's always something unexpected happens. I don't know if anybody like purposely sits there and be like, I'm gonna be an hour late to something. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, she said the
she said a
club
couple
or
of
something.
minutes. She said a couple of
A couple
minutes.
minutes.
Well, David, what do you think?
I mean, it also depends on the situation. Like an appointment.
Okay.
Obviously, the appointment, you can prepare for. You're gonna get up early. You're gonna make sure you get everything done.
Okay.
But like some Hispanic households, like a party, you don't want to be the first one there. Like you don't want to be the person there that's like looking at all the empty seats and helping prepare. Like you want to get there when the festivities are starting and everybody's having fun. Like you don't want to be that person that's there an hour early to your family's party, because then you end up being the person bringing everything in.
I'm the person that like, I'm gonna go in early and then I'm gonna get the fuck out of there early. That's my thinking. In and out.
That's true. I mean, that works for you, but a lot of people don't think that. They're like, I don't want to be the first one there. And I don't want to be the only one there, because usually the person there that's an hour early or half an hour early or whatever,
and then
they're the only person there, and they're looking around like, oh.
Yeah, then you get dragged into.
Did you give me the wrong time?
Bring this,
But then everyone has that one person that the party's at 6. Meanwhile, it doesn't start till 7. But you told them 6 because you want them to get there at 7, because you know that they're notorious for being late.
I do that to people.
Yeah.
Like I'll do that to my kids. We have to be there because my kids did not come out. They don't take after me. They came. They want to do everything late. So I have to tell them, oh, we have to be there at 5. And they'll be like, are you sure it's 5? Or are you just telling us it's 5?
So for me, lack of empathy, because I think people pick and choose. I don't think people are late. That's why I say lack of empathy. They pick and choose. You might have a woman out there who will tune into her novellas like on time. Novella come on at 4 p.m. She got her alarm in her phone on the calendar.
Got the popcorn ready. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She's not late to the event. You might have a guy who is going to a football game, a live event. You know what I'm saying? So he's not late. So I think that people just pick and choose why they are late.
I like it. That's a good one.
Lack of empathy. Sorry.
List of pet peeves you have for the opposite sex. By the way, the guest will always start.
Pet peeves. I could list a lot.
Ooh, I have fingers. You can go. Let's go.
Him playing video games.
Yeah.
The majority of the time, yes. I am the type that I need to constantly go out and do things and do activities and things like that. He's the opposite, where he wants to sit there and play video games all the time. So that's one of them. 2, I grew up in a household where it's constantly like on the weekends, you get up early, you make your coffee, you cook, you have to clean. So that way you have the rest of the day. Not him. He's like nonchalant. And I'm like, okay. Another thing is too, it's like when I ask him to do something, I need to have it done right away. But that's because of the way I was raised. He will wait a day or 2 days or 3 days later, and I'm sitting there like, we fighting.
Oh
Like,
shit.
we're gonna fight. I will throw hands and everything. I'm like, we're gonna fight. But other than that, I mean, I love everything else about him.
Like just those two
Let me
things.
just throw that in there.
Yes.
Let me just put that there.
Yes.
What does the video games mean to you, though?
So
Is it like a?
it's my outlet, to be
Mm.
perfectly honest. I deal with a lot of stressful things in my everyday. That's a way for me to just escape it for a moment. You know, that's my vice.
Do you know that, Jem?
I do know that.
Mm.
I understand that when I got into this relationship that it's hard being with somebody that's in the military.
Mm.
And I understand that. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, you can give your 24 hours to the PlayStation, but what about going to a movie?
Mm.
What
Like spending
about
time with you?
exactly, let's go out, let's do things instead of, you know what, babe, I'm just gonna play video games. So that's why I'm like, okay, you do you and I do me. I'll be on my phone on TikTok and then I go to sleep cuddling with the dog and he's still there.
He's still on the video game.
Yeah.
Did you ever invite her to play video games with you?
Absolutely.
Have you ever played games with him?
No.
Not even like Mortal Kombat? I love that
No.
shit.
No, it's because of the way
How
I
you
was
were.
trained. That the household comes first, the kids come first. So I don't know how it is to live a normal life where we could play video games
Right.
and do all that. No, it's constantly like in my head is, oh, the kids need this, my husband needs this needs to be done.
So you're always on the go.
Yes.
You're always trying to
Yes.
find something.
Mhm.
Well, what
So
else?
what's your pet peeve of the opposite sex?
The demanding. I'm in the military,
Mhm.
so in that life, like
A lot comes with it.
I'm
A lot of
getting
pressure.
I'm getting told what to do constantly.
Mhm.
I have no opinion in it. I can't even vocalize it.
You gotta
It's do
follow.
as I say and that's it. I have to follow orders. So I don't want that at home. You know. So when, like she says, she gets upset because she'll ask me to do something, and she can be a bit demanding when she does it. I shut off. I don't want to hear it because I deal with that already. So I kind of purposefully just don't do it right at the moment that she wants me to do it.
That was my next question to you. Is why is it then that you wait so like even days to do it?
It's not always days, but it has been. I get forgetful. That is
Oh,
one
okay.
thing. I
So
do-
it's-
I do
it's-
get forgetful, and that's probably another pet peeve that she hasn't mentioned.
I feel you. I mean, listen, me and I forget things all the time.
Like I don't just do it because it's not something that I care about. It's just sometimes I'll get into something. I'll get distracted talking to the kids or talking on the phone or something will happen. And I'll
Mhm.
get distracted and I'm like, oh damn, I forgot to do that. And then I remember.
Does she remind you ever? Like, or does she say it once and then she takes notice? And if you haven't taken it out in a couple of days, then she says, I asked you like 5 days ago. Just kidding.
She'll sometimes remind me. Other times she'll just do it. And as she's doing it, she's reminding me.
Oh.
That like I told you to do this, and she's doing it.
Latina. That's the operative word.
Can I ask you something, Mr. EL Discipline? In this situation, because he's a coach, I'll have you know. In this situation, right?
Mhm.
How would you advise them? Like, let's say you guys are, listen, because you guys came in early, we're giving you a whole free. This isn't even, I'm just going to close this shit right here. All right? This is impromptu now. We're not going to go, because they weren't fashionably. They were on time and they deserve this from Mr. EL Discipline. Let's go.
So there's clearly resentment on both sides. Even if you guys aren't aware of it, there's resentment on both sides. What I would do is, y'all been together for 5 years, right? Married for 5 years, or
Together for 5 years.
how long have you
April.
been married?
April.
Because that's a different level.
Almost
of
3 months.
Okay. And you guys were living together for how long before you got married?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years. Okay. And there were no kids yet?
No, I have 4 kids.
Okay.
He has 4 kids.
So they were all like 8 in the house.
No.
Okay.
It's like the Brady Bunch.
Yes, but it's a complicated situation. I have my 2 oldest with me.
Mhm.
My 2 youngest stay with their
Mhm.
dad.
Okay. So the main thing that he said here about pet peeves was demanding. So in a way, like, you might not like this word or you might like it, I don't know. But in a way, he wants some level of submission. I'm not saying like complete submission,
She said no.
but he wants some level of submission. I'm trying to bring you into if there could be a possible compromise.
Mhm.
Because of the resentment, And the demanding, like there's not that level of submission knowing what I'm doing out there. Like I'm already going through shit out there. Like I don't want to have to come home and there's chaos. I want peace because that's chaos. It's a lot on my plate, so I think that you guys can get to a compromise, communicate first, and then work on your approach. I don't want to say like behavior, but work on your approach. Maybe you don't want to sound as demanding. I don't know if there's tone, intonation, like maybe you're getting loud when you're demanding things. You're not like, well, baby, can you please take out the garbage? Like you're pointing, and what are you gonna say?
I wanted to ask you because they did touch on that, and when she does ask him, right, and he has says, but because of his work and not, just in the life that he's in military wise,
Mhm.
in his day to day outside of his home, he doesn't have a say, he doesn't have a thought. Everything is told to him what to do, right?
Mhm.
But when she does ask him to do something, because for whatever reason, and he says that it irks him, and then he doesn't do it. So what?
Have you guys already? Now, this is not like a consultation of psychiatrists and stuff, even though I have a degree. But I just want to know: have you guys articulated this to each other, or this is the first time it's being articulated?
No, we've done plenty of times.
So-
but what happens is that I'm strong-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because of the trauma that I've been through, I'm not going to let somebody step all over me.
Well, that's what it's gonna have to start with. The pride and the ego. Especially if you love each other. Like you're gonna have to go back and communicate these boundaries. Because there's boundaries.
Mhm.
Like he has boundaries, you have boundaries. So the best thing to do is see if you guys can negotiate. If not, and come to some type of compromise, he's forever gonna be doing that, and you're forever gonna be doing that. It's what's your nationality? Ethnicity?
Puerto Rican.
That's strong personalities.
Hmm.
Caribbean, Latino, Latina. So that's bound to happen. You guys are on a collision course, and what's going to allow that relationship to thrive is by putting the ego and the pride aside. You know what I'm saying? And like catering to each other's boundaries.
Can I ask you a question? Is he similar to your ex, or they're completely totally different?
They're completely, totally different.
And-
My ex is from Central America. He's Honduran.
Oh, that makes
So,
But go ahead.
but they're two different backgrounds, and I respect him way differently than I did my ex.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, but
She said that earlier.
no. I know. I'm bringing it up because she said that because of her past experience with her ex, that's what has all her traumas there.
Mhm.
And she said, and I'm not gonna let anybody talk down or disrespect me or tell me what
Well,
to do. I
walk
forgot.
over.
it's
Run
just
all
Walk
over
all
you.
over.
yeah,
Echo,
but it's
echo.
just not him. It's everybody else in my life. Like my parents passed away from COVID 3 years ago.
Dude, I'm so sorry.
So with that said, I've cut all ties with my family
Mm.
because they've seen me as this horrible person, but not seen me as, okay, she's been through a lot and now she's changing, So I'm all about my kids and about my family and about my husband. And, there are things that we do need to work on. Not every marriage is perfect.
Mhm.
Not every relationship
Not
is
any
perfect.
Yeah.
There's
So-
nothing perfect ever.
Exactly. So in that sense that yes, I am learning to work on things as I go. It doesn't happen over time,
Yeah.
So that's something that, we're learning on this journey of being married together.
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
exciting.
I mean, I can contest to that. There's been times where, it's been difficult to communicate, but then a day or so will go by and we'll talk about the same subject and it's easy. You know?
You come back to
It's
it.
either, she just needed that time to process maybe what the situation was
Yeah,
or the severity of it or however it may be, but it always comes back to us getting back on, that communication level and speaking about it. And we're able to listen to each other and talk to each other and, express and not judge.
Oh, that's good.
The emotions are high when everything's going through what you're going through. That's why a couple of days it's easier because now the adrenaline is.
And
going.
plus, I feel like I know with me, like if I'm arguing with somebody and I need, it's always constantly on my mind, and every time I'm like, oh, I didn't see it that way, or I didn't, and I could calm myself down to see it in a whole different light
Yeah.
now.
When we're emotional, like our judgment gets clogged. think of it like a cloud and it's about to rain. That's how our brain, it's like a brain fog. So if you're highly emotional, you're not going to be able to be logical, to be like A, B, C, D, because you're highly emotional. You're just reacting versus like taking everything in,
Right.
Yeah.
you know?
I mean, and we're both strong-headed, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's why it's going to come to a compromise. Because like I
Yes.
said, two alphas don't go anywhere unless somebody submits. You know what I'm saying? So,
Which strong-headed is more, I guess, difficult to deal with, the quiet kind like him or the boisterous kind like her? I'm gonna go with the quiet kind
why?
because he's quiet. You don't know when he's gonna,
It's more calculated.
yeah.
mhm.
That's how
Oh,
I
you
am.
could see
It's
us coming. You could see a female coming.
Yes.
If I'm upset, like I've never been the type of guy to throw things. No, I'll never let that. I don't let people take me out of my calm. That's my power. So I pride myself in being emotionally intelligent. If I'm upset and I know I'm gonna say something I'm gonna regret or whatever, I just say, listen, I'm going out with my boy or something. Like I'll be back later, or I'll call you tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like we'll text because I need to recalibrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a calculating, methodical person. I need to recalibrate. I need to think about everything because I don't want to say anything that I don't mean or out of emotion.
Mm.
He's done
Or
that
anger.
before.
Yeah. Or
He,
anger.
he does that.
But I let them know. Sorry to
Right.
cut you off, but I'll let them know, like, listen, I'm very mad, upset, disappointed or whatever, but I'll deal with it tomorrow. But go keep
And I
going.
think that's one of my other pet peeves about him is he's so quiet. And I'm sitting there, my brain goes, well, aren't you going to say something? Like, say something. I need you to say something. And I've told him, I said, listen, you can go hang out with your friends on the weekend. There are times where I need to be alone.
Mm.
I need to be me. And I guess that's because I don't know who I am anymore. I'm just a mother
Mm.
that works full time, that is nonstop. And he gets upset sometimes because when I'm home, I'm still working off the clock,
Mm.
because I work for a nonprofit organization.
Yeah, Chris was saying,
Mhm.
he said the same thing. He
Yes.
was like, when I go home, he's like, no, he makes it a point to be like, I'm not working when I'm home.
Exactly.
Shout out to Chris.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey.
I love him.
Look who's here, Chris. Go ahead.
Hi.
Mhm.
So with that sense that, yes, there are pet peeves that bother me about him, but he's my best friend. So with that said, I'm getting accustomed to being on his level. Like
Mm.
I'm late for everything and he's on time. And now it's kind of like the opposite where I want to be on time. He wants to be late for everything.
It's a switch.
Exactly. And I think it's because he's just mentally exhausted,
Mm.
and it's nonstop from the military. And I don't know how to, I guess, deal with it sometimes.
Have you asked him, or has he ever told you? Because I know that's big, especially with males, and not even that, but within the the Latino community, we're not big on communication. You know what I mean? Like people don't really talk. They'll speak and then walk, and you're supposed to just understand what they're trying to say. So that's why I'm asking. Did you ever ask him, like, I don't know how to help you with whatever, what can I do to ease you?
Right.
Or has he ever come to you and say, listen, when I'm like this, I need you to do X, Y, and Z?
Oh, he does. He does.
Oh,
But
that's
the problem
good.
is that I don't know how to handle it because again, 4 kids. I have 3 that have issues that I have to deal with because their dad doesn't help. So with that said, it's kind of like, okay, I don't know how to deal with his situation, and then I have to figure it out. And then, I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. So I burn myself out. And then I close up, and then I give him attitude, and I give the kids attitude, and I'm just mentally done.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Why do you think that you shut down like that? Like, do you go to him and tell him, I feel not myself, and I don't know what it is. I just feel off, and I need you to ground me. I need you to help me.
I do, but I feel for me, I don't want to put more on his plate. Because today's society, like you guys were saying, it's a lot on the man. The man has to provide for the family and everything. And I saw that growing up. My dad did that. My dad was retired and then got another job. just to provide for us and to provide for a big house and for us to go on vacations. And I told him, I was like, I don't want that, you know?
Right.
Like, yeah, people struggle. We have our ups and downs and things like that. But at the end of the day, what makes him so unique is that I can act like a big kid. I could throw a tantrum. I can, you know, be obsessed with certain things and he'll let me rock, you know? And he loves my kids, you know? So it's just getting used to this military lifestyle and them being away. Like, he's leaving for deployment in October.
How long will you be gone for?
It's supposed to be for like 440 days.
But I'm bad in math.
A
We need to
year.
cut- Thank you.
Yeah.
A year.
A year,
A little over.
Yeah, over
Yeah.
a year, yeah.
But they say it like that because they
Oh.
factor in leave as well, because you acquire some leave time. So when you come home, like I can't go back to work until I finish burning off that leave time.
Oh, really?
So I get to like stay home, and I'll still,
Oh,
you know, get
that is so
paid because I'm on
interesting.
orders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right? How interesting. Oh, wow. So is this the first time that he's leaving since you guys have been together or married?
No.
No.
Okay.
This isn't, but
This
it's
is the longest.
this is the longest that it's
Oh,
going
that was
to
my
be.
second question. Oh,
Yes.
wow.
This is the longest.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, everything's going to fall on me and I have to do this and I have to do that and I won't be able to go out and have fun and I have to be on time for everything and, you know,
Why you want to go out and have fun? You married
because you can go out and have fun.
with your girls?
I don't have friends.
Oh, okay.
You know, you know who my best friends are? My
Who?
kids.
Oh, and
My-
him.
Yes. But my oldest is my ride or die.
Oh,
Okay.
And that is the one that I have fun with.
Mm,
All three of my kids. They're
mm.
different personalities and everything, and I have fun with them. Let's go get our
Mm.
nails done. Let's go do this.
Mhm.
Okay.
My oldest likes to get piercings and everything, and I'm like, you know what? I need a new piercing. Let's go.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
so I don't need friends.
Mm,
You know, I just need my family, and that's it.
Mm.
cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Pet peeves. Shit. We'll be here for a long time. Shit, we don't got time. Maybe the biggest ones, opposite sex pet peeves. Non-submissive. I don't ask for submission up front, obviously. She has to submit for you to lead. Or it's, you know, rape or harassment or whatever. But in a relationship, non-submissive women or the woman, and I think I could work with a lot of things. I think I could work with a lot of things if the submission is there, because I think that it's an operative word. That term has so many avenues in it, like optimistic, peace, patient.
Mm.
You know,
Also has so many
nurture.
levels.
Yeah,
There's so many
nurturing.
levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I think like the word alone,
yeah,
some women have a problem with it because
it
it's
sounds like oppression.
yes.
It's like this. If I look at her as submissive, she's gonna have traditional values. So even if she's a brat, like I could work with all those things because my main love language is that. There's a nerve in my heart that responds to the vibrations of submission. So I could be with a woman who does everything, cook, clean, and whatever. She's very combative and fights my leadership, doesn't respect me and trust me as a man. You know, makes a lot of money and isn't submissive. Like I can't take that. You know, looks good. You know, body, face. I can't take that. I'd rather take a 7 over the 12 or the 10 who's a little bit more submissive, because if she's submissive, that's the cornerstone. She's going to adapt to everything else.
Mm.
My teachings, my way of thinking, like she's not going to be dismissive. You know, she's going to want to engage in the things I like. Like, let's say I wanted to do go-kart. Hey, I want to go with you. Like, I don't like that, but I'll do it. I'll rock. Because she's ride or die.
Mm.
You know, so if she's ride or die, well, if she isn't ride or die, then that would be the biggest.
I
For
think pet peeves for me, I don't necessarily think that is for any gender, you know, opposites that are, I just don't like when people complain. Like somebody who complains and complains and complains, and when you offer a solution or something, it's a yeah, but all the time. Then I'm not going to say anything. You just sit there and complain to
So
somebody
that's for
else.
men and women?
Yeah.
Pet peeve? Okay.
Yeah. So do you think that people who are always late they have a bad business mindset, like they're bad to do business with?
Yes. Like I said earlier, I think of time is like equate to money.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm late, even if it's not literal, it's figurative. If I'm late, I'm thinking I'm losing money,
Mm.
even if I'm not. So I hold myself accountable to be on time or early. If I'm on time, I'm late. That's how I always look at things.
Yeah, that's what I just
You
said
know,
too.
if I'm early, I'm on time.
Yeah.
You know, and I also like to prepare. So let's say I'm going to a real estate conference, right? I get an invitation. I'm going to a place I've never been. I'm going to want to be there 30 minutes. I need parking. I need to know how far. So I'm
Yeah.
already like planning prior. How's the weather going to be? I'm looking at the weather. I'm looking at if there's going to be traffic. I'm probably GPSing it already
Yeah.
before I go to bed to see, okay, when do I have to wake up? My clothes, everything in order. You know, I'm highly prepared. So
So it's part of being responsible.
yeah.
Okay. I know you said that you always saw your mom be late, and I know you have, your 4 children. Do all 4? Do you see them following in those steps? Are they gonna be late too, or do you see like, all right, she's gonna be on time, he's gonna be late, he's gonna be on time?
My oldest is different because I like to be late and things like that, and the dad is late sometimes. But my oldest actually gets anxiety about being late.
Yeah.
We need to be on time. Like even getting to work, and then there's traffic. Oh my God, I'm gonna be late. I'm gonna be late. Hyperventilates and things like that.
Yeah.
So he's totally different. He needs to, even with homework, essays, things like that, it needs to be on time.
Yeah, that's great.
There's a deadline.
That's
Yes.
good. So only one came out on time. Any of your
Do you see the
pregnancies late?
rest following suit?
My youngest, well, my third child is my wild
Because
child.
usually, like, the oldest is the leader or the ringleader in the group, and they just follow the oldest normally.
No, not in this situation. It's kind of like my oldest tries, but then my third is the one that's, even though she's like the third youngest, she's the ringleader. She's the one that wants to be out partying. She works with us in our summer program.
Oh, that's so nice.
All 3 of them do. And I'm like, well, can you work this? No, I need to live my hot girl summer. I said, you're only 14. You don't know what a hot girl summer is.
That's so funny.
Like, I still pay for your stuff. Your dad still pays for your stuff. But no, at 14, they are all my kids are very responsible.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
All right. I just wanted to ask that because it popped into my head.
That's fine.
You have the word narcissistic highlighted for number 11. Is that because,
so
go ahead.
You know what it is.
I know what it
Everybody
is.
know what narcissistic is. Okay, so a person who is saying, "Oh, they gotta wait on me. I got an event to go to. They gotta wait on me. I gotta look my best." That's narcissistic behavior or mentality. I'm just telling you the facts because it's self-centered. Like it's circled around you, predicated on you. So that can also be why people are late. Narcissistic.
Okay. So that kind of ties in with 12, where it says, it's often said women are notorious for being late. Is this true from what you've seen and known, and why? And we have Jem, who is here, who says she likes to be a little bit late because she likes to, put herself together and look good. But also, and you're saying that that's a narcissistic trait. Is it also?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it, because I know some women that also do it not just for themselves, but if they're going to go to a party with their husband, their boyfriend, they want to make sure that they look good because they're going to be on his arm. Is that still considered, you think, narcissistic?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question with that. Why would you still think that? If you're going out, right, with your girl, you're dressed up and everything, you're wearing a suit, okay? Wouldn't you want your girl to look?
To match it?
Exactly.
Well, she's doing that for herself. She's getting all dolled up and everything like that. Like, why if he doesn't care for that?
But what if she's not doing it for herself? What if she's doing it for you?
I mean, it's still narcissistic to be able to take that amount of time and make him wait upon you. That's what it is. You're making him wait on you.
So if,
So you're
if women
thinking-
started it earlier so that they could
Absolutely.
finish on
Like
time.
I get where she's going with it. I like it. I live a different lifestyle.
Mhm.
So, and this has been done in the past because I had a woman who was a submissive who had an issue with being late. So I said the solution would be get dressed or start getting ready 3 hours prior, because she would take like 2 hours to get ready. You know what I'm saying? So and that worked for her.
Mhm.
You know, so yes, I'm not opposed to that. Like, start to plan ahead of time, because
So
it's
planning.
narcissistic is the part of you're making him wait upon you. Like, he should be appreciative that I'm doing this, but you're making him wait on you.
So it's
God forbid something happens. You know what I'm saying? The world could end tomorrow.
Mhm.
God forbid something happens. You're making him wait on you. That's kind of like you're taking him for granted.
Not really, because let me ask you another question. Now, let's say you have a family, okay? And you have, let's say, 4 kids, right? And they're all, you have the toddler and you have the kids in middle age, okay?
Mhm.
You guys are all going out, okay, to an event. You're dressed, she's dressed, but she's not being narcissistic for making you wait because you have children. So in that sense, being a little late in that situation is okay because you have children. Even if you say, okay, well, we have to be there at 7. She takes off of work, okay? She has the whole day. She has everything planned out. Your stuff is planned out, okay? She's done. She's ready early. You're ready.
And you're getting the kids ready.
Exactly.
That's a different circumstance. If it's just you and him, first dates type stuff,
Right.
or you're dating, that's a different circumstance. When when children are present, even if you might live a lifestyle like me, that might
priority.
take a pause because their well-being comes prior.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a different circumstance. But I'm talking more so men and women.
Okay.
There's no kids there. Like, you guys are having a date night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like you being late, but you're looking at it like, I'm getting dolled up for you. I want this to be for your eyes only, but you don't respect his time. You know what I'm saying? Just my opinion. I'm not trying to debate here.
So what you're saying is all right. Take that time, but start early. That way
Yes.
you can leave. At the time that
Absolutely.
you're
That would be the
supposed to.
compromise.
Okay.
That would be the solution to the problem. But that's why I say it's narcissistic.
Okay.
I'm very rarely late because I'm always planning ahead. Now, mind you, unexpected traffic, things beyond your control. But I'm always early because I control. I prepare ahead of time. So that's that. I think that I think that it's like your mentality. It starts with your mentality. So I have like a money mentality. So if I'm late, time is money. I'm fucking my money up, and I'm fucking other people's time too, because time is valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go on a date with somebody, that's valuable time.
Or like we've had, so like I said before, people come an hour and a half late. An hour and a half late, we either have to pay extra for the studio, or we could have been doing something in an hour and a half. I have
Right.
kids too. Shoot, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be here waiting for someone. So, I that's definitely a big pet peeve for. And I'm so happy you guys came on.
Yeah, I think that someone who predicates their life around time and is very humble about it and strict, that's like just a cornerstone of how they move with their life. That's how I look at that.
David, were you always a person who was on time, or is that something that you had to learn with the military, with the army?
I mean, I did get better at it with the military, but I
You kind
wasn't
of had
always.
to. Or
Yeah,
else they're gonna.
yeah.
Lord knows what they
And,
did
and
to
it's
you.
so funny that you said that earlier, how if you're on time, you feel like you're late, because that's literally a military mentality. Like, you have to be there 15 minutes prior.
Yeah.
Because if you're there, like, you have what's known as a formation, which is where everyone comes together. They take, roll call and stuff to make sure that everyone is there. Say it's at 0700. You have to be there 15 minutes prior. The formation's at 700. You walk in at 700. You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're wrong, because everyone's already there. They're in formation. Now everybody's just like whoosh,
And waiting on you,
looking
right?
at you walk in. So it's funny that you say that because that's how they instill that into you. You know, if you're on time, you're late. You have to be prepared. You have to come earlier. You have to make sure that you get there on time.
Isn't it also, well, I don't know if it's true or not. I've seen movies. I'm a big movie person, by the way. When a military person comes late to their thing, they like specifically say, well, because you're late, no, we all have to run in the freaking heat. Is that true?
It depends.
On
Like
who-
that's
on who
not.
you're-
Yeah, it depends on your leadership, and this is crazy. You know, the military's evolving and it changes all the time. A lot of the traditional, corrections, we would call it, that they have in the military,
I like that.
they don't really do that
Oh,
so
okay.
much anymore. Like when I went in basic training, we didn't have what was known as a stress card.
A stress card?
A stress card. So what that basically is that
Oh, please.
if you're in, if you're in basic training and I guess the pressure or the drill instructors or whatever it is that may be too much for you in that moment, you pull out your stress card and they basically put you on like a timeout. Like they leave you alone for a set period of time.
Wow.
So that you can regain, your mental stability. I didn't have that.
How do you feel about that? Since you didn't have it and they're using it now, like what are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I have kind of mixed feelings about it. I mean,
He's like pussies
I
all over.
somewhat, I somewhat feel that it's a good idea, but I don't think that it's implemented well. Like it shouldn't be like that. We should just have a certain amount of time to kind of recruit for the day. Like your off time, but not just spur of the moment. You got your feelings hurt because your drill sergeant said something because you performed poorly. That's on you. Basic training is basically supposed to break you down as a civilian and build you up as a soldier because it's a different mindset. It's a totally different world, and that's what's going on there. That's what is happening. They're changing you mentally as well as physically. Of course, it is physically tolling. So for you to pull out a stress card, like dead in the middle of the heat, if you're in a situation where you need to protect your battles, the enemy's not going to be like, oh wait, he has a stress card.
Let's go attack him later.
It's not realistic, and the military is trained as you fight. So I feel like that kind of weakens it a bit. In another sense, I do like the fact that the military is taking mental health more seriously.
Yeah, because
I
they
do
did not.
love
They were
that.
awful, yeah.
So it's like it's kind of it's a work in progress. They're trying to come up with these things to implement to these soldiers so that they're not mentally drained, but then at the same time
They're babying them too much.
a little bit. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Like a sensei of a dojo or a coach of a sports team, some of them do that. Some of them, oh, you're late? Yo, the whole team's doing laps.
Yeah.
Because that helps the team even hold that specific person accountable.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, you said that's on you. You're right. The way I look at time is discipline. Discipline builds character. So in a way, if you are not on time, I'm looking at it like you don't care about life. That's like somebody with a fucking cracked phone, and that's their main phone that they use. I'm looking at the cracked phone like, you didn't get insurance? Like, it probably comes with it. Like, you could just change the screen. There's people that, like my cousin, fixes phones. Like, we'll do it for cheap. Like, you don't give a fuck about life. Like, my cell phone, there's so much shit in that one cell phone.
Yeah.
Emails, I don't remember people's numbers. They're just names. Your whole life could be in that. You don't care about your life. You don't care where you're gonna go. That's how I look at that.
I know before we spoke about how you have 4 children, and then in the interim you were like, he has 4 children. I was like, oh, it's like the Brady Bunch. How are your kids with time?
They're all younger.
So, they're younger?
Yeah. I have an older son, and he's pet peeve with time. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Pet peeve. Like, he has to be on time. He can't be late.
Is that because of you being in the military? Like, he just picked up on that, on like military life?
Not so much that.
Oh.
It's really, he's always been like that. Like, always. Even when, he was growing up, like, he lived with his mom, and she always used to tell me, like, he's ready for school. Like, he was, Mom, come on, let's go.
Right.
You know,
He's like, I'm waiting.
yeah. You know, and he prepares. You know, of course, he wants to look good. He wants to, you know, make sure his hair is done and everything and stuff like that. But like he was always like that. Like he always prepares. He's that type of person to prepare. Unless it's just, you know, he's having a bad
day.
or, you know, whatever,
He's
maybe
off a
then
little
he's
bit.
just like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? But I guess that just goes with like the circumstances.
And how old is he? Because you're 41, so you're
He's 24.
I have a 25
Okay.
year old. So
Okay.
all right.
So what are you up to? Final thoughts?
We're up. Let me see. Hello. Final thoughts. We all know the problem. Now, what's the solution to assist people to be on time? Anybody?
Well,
Oh,
you
that's
can
not
start first. Then she goes. Then David. Then I take it.
All right. What can we do to assist people to be on time? We should throw rocks at them. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Then you'll be hit with assault. You know what? Like David said, that's up to you. You can't make somebody be on time. The only people that we can make be on time are our children, because we are in control of their life for a certain amount of time. After that, you can't even tell your significant other you have to be on time. All you can do is say, "It's running late now. I'm already ready. I'll meet you there." That's it. That's my opinion. I'm never going to force somebody to be on time. I will take note if it's more than once. I know how to move with you now. That's just me. Jem.
I think time management
Mm.
and I guess age and wisdom. Because growing up, we were always late, but now that I'm older and I have children, it's like, okay, we have to be on time.
Yeah.
And even when I go to work, my boss is like, you're early. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'll go into the office and I'll do what I have to do. But I just think it's time management, age, and wisdom.
That's good. David?
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with my wife on that. Like time management is huge. You know, if you're not preparing, then you're failing yourself. You know, like you've heard him before. He says, you know, he looks at it as if he's losing time, he's losing money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people have that mentality, but you know, you could always make more money. You know, you can get money back, but you can't get time back. Once you lose it, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, you can't make up for that. It's such a huge thing that should be valued and it should not be wasted. You know, a lot of people do waste a lot of time. So definitely time management, preparation, you know, and just, you know, trying. Most people don't put the effort. Yeah. Like they don't care, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you can't force anyone to care. But you know, that's just how it is.
I can agree with time management with the two of you. Micromanaging your time too, all that is like preparation the night prior, you know, like I said, the stuff that I do, like I gotta brush my teeth, take a shower, do this, meditate,
Set
pray,
your clothes out.
you know, write in my journal. Like it's like habit. So if you want to reach a goal, you got to create some type of habit. That's what it comes down to. Because when you don't have motivation, you got to implement discipline. You got to incorporate habit. So if somebody is not on time, that's a little thing that could turn bigger. That's a bad habit. That is a bad habit. Like David said, time you can't get back. It's precious. You snooze, you lose. Early worm gets the bird.
Early bird gets.
Thank you. gets the worm. So you're missing out on a lot, probably. Let's say you're going on a date or something, and you know that that's the right connection, but they didn't tell you that their pet peeve is lateness. So now he's like, fuck this bitch. Or she's like, fuck this dude. Like, I'm not staying. And they're just 2 minutes late. So 2 minutes ago, he or she was gone. Well, you lost a connection. That's the early worm.
Yeah.
Or early bird gets the worm. Like you snooze, you lose. So they're so you're not humble with time. And you know, like they said, time management is how you're going to resolve this. Like if you have an issue with being late to work every day and you know, okay, it's 30 minutes away from my house. That means you might have to wake up an hour and a half earlier to make breakfast, do all this stuff. If you're waking up if you're waking up like 45 minutes before work and it's 30 minutes away, you only have 15 minutes to get ready and eat and shit.
Brush your teeth,
Brush
do
your
hair,
teeth.
all that stuff.
So that means 15 minutes. Now you got 30 minutes. You're definitely gonna be late. And what if you hit traffic?
It's over.
So that's
Look, I'm
why
already having anxiety.
that's
thinking
why
about it.
proper planning, just like in the importance of discipline, proper planning is what's gonna be the byproduct of proper results or great results. You know, so that's all that it comes down to. It's just being prepared. Like if you have this issue, like with the woman I was with in the past, I said, okay, I asked her, how long does it take for you to get dressed? She's like, I gotta do this. It's like 2 hours. I said, okay, so add an extra hour. So if we're meeting at 7 o'clock p.m. for dinner, 4 p.m. start getting ready. And if I come over and pick you up and you're early, that's great. You'd rather be early than late. Because I'm very with that.
Me too. You ain't gotta tell me.
You know, so thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah,
I've
love to
I've
hear.
said, listen, you guys have to come back because I always tell him, I'm like, we need a couple on the show, like an
Yeah.
actual either boyfriend, girlfriend, husband,
Mhm.
wife, so that we can discuss these things. And what do we pick? People that come, late sometimes, and they were early. This is not the topic to bring them on. Now, if you came late, that would have been better. We could have started. I'm like, oh, now they're here.
I would have roasted you guys.
And
Oh, yeah,
it's
me
interesting.
too.
Like we talk about a lot of different things, and there's plenty of times where we're on two totally different sides of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's why.
Opinion wise.
And that's
Yes.
fine because you're a man, she's a woman.
Yeah,
Not always gonna think
it's
the
not
same.
even that. It's just other things, upbringing, just
That too.
Upbringing,
a lot of different reasons.
We're at the end of the show now. You can't be saying things that it's going to make me be like, what kind of different upbringing? You can't do that to me. You see, now we have to bring you on another show. So expect a phone call, people.
Not a problem.
You're going to see them back on, people.
All right. Thank you once again for coming on. So you have anything else you want to say?
No, thank you for coming. Thank you for being on time. Although it would have been a better show if you came late. I could have made fun of you, but no, it was great. I love your feedback and stuff, your points of view.
And we sorry to cut you off, and we value your time because you had to make certain accommodations, move certain things around. I don't know, to be here.
Yeah. So thank you.
So we appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned into the Disciplinary Podcast. Peace.